When I first started teen coaching, well over a decade ago, I struggled to make money in the beginning because I had a lot of limiting beliefs around, can I actually make money online? Will parents actually pay for coaching? And I was coming in as a school teacher with a lot of limitations around money to begin with. And so it kind of brings me to my next point. The first 12 months of me running my coaching business online, I made $0. And it wasn't because I didn't have the right strategy. To some extent, I was still finding my way through. But for the most part, is because emotionally, I just hadn't caught up yet to the idea of like, this is going to be my new norm. So if you feel like you're sitting there right now, I just want to reassure you that it's not your fault. You've been exposed to a school system, if you're a teacher, where we're not conditioned to make a lot of money in the market. If we're going to get into teen coaching for the money, I think you choose a different market, right? We don't become school teachers and youth ministers and youth speakers, summer camp counselors. We don't become those people or have those titles to make money. We don't go into this market for that reason. If you wanted to just make money, you'd go into corporate or sales. And so I know you're not coming in with the mentality of, I just want to make money, Lenita. You're coming in with the mentality of, I want to make more impact. I want to make a bigger difference. I want to extend my impact beyond the classroom walls. And so I'm not surprised if you're feeling this way, where you are questioning on whether parents will pay for coaching or questioning whether you can make money online doing this. So in today's video, I'm going to take some time to read through my notes so I make sure I don't miss anything for you. But by the end of this, you're going to walk away with a couple of outcomes. One, we start to remove the resistance that you might have around the possibility of making money online. And two, I guess walk away with just feeling so much more curious to test out this market. The problem with a lot of people today is they just question things so much that they don't even give themselves a chance to just give it a try, give it a shot. I'd rather try something and say to myself whether I'm not interested or that didn't work out for me. I'd rather be in that state than look back on my life and think to myself, man, I wish I just gave it a shot without judging it so quickly. Just give it a try. Today, walk away with being more curious and just giving it a chance before you judge it too early. So, I guess coming back to my first 12 months of coaching teenagers, it did feel hard back then because no one else was really paving the path for me. Like you all have Teen Coach Academy now. I've built and tested and refined and trial and error so for over a decade that you have a proven process. We even have testimonials. You can check them out down below as well. I'll link you to that. We have so many case studies now of teachers and coaches and parents making money online with this skill set. But for me, I didn't have any of that in the beginning. So I was a huge skeptic and it felt hard until it no longer felt hard. And so that lack of belief is very common for you all, whether someone has already told you to not touch the market. So today I want you to think about what type of beliefs you're willing to try on, because there's an empowering belief and then there's a limiting belief. And you have the choice to choose which one you want to try on. Are you going to try on the one that's going to, of course, get you into the right emotional state? Or are you going to try the one that keeps you in your limitations? Because the reality is they're actually both made up beliefs. I just want you to choose the belief system that's going to help you win. Just choose the narrative that's going to allow you to actually build momentum here. Because the fact is, there's evidence for both. And I'll share an example here. You and I are on the same playing level field when it comes to belief systems, just in different categories. So if you're in your early stages of business, I'm not telling you go and make 10K a month. That's certainly possible. We have success stories like that. But I know how it feels to be in the beginning stages of my business and being exposed to those case studies. I would totally be a skeptic around that. And so I'm not asking you to have make $10,000 a month right now. Think to yourself, well, what if I was to make $1,000 a month extra on top of my job? And this is without quitting your job, by the way. 90% of my clients are still working full time. They're not looking to burn the boats. There's a 10%, there's a 10% of them that actually do leave, like myself, but eventually down the track, not right away. But the point here is I want you to look for the evidence that feels comfortable enough for you to choose the empowering belief. Is it an extra $500 a month? Maybe you want to make an extra $2,500 a month. And that has a place. That's possible for you. But are you looking for the examples? Or are you looking for the resistance? Because as I just said before, you and I are on the same playing field, just in different categories. So for example, when you're heading into business, you're either looking for people who have similar success that you're after, or you're going to keep looking at stories that just people that just never made it. Same with me, but not in business, because I've made it in business. In that category that I'm playing in at this stage of my life is around love, relationships, and romance. See, I come from divorced parents and I was raised without a father. My initial mindset, if I allow myself to go there, would be like, oh, all men are bad, and block those blessings because I choose to believe that all men are bad. Well, then, of course, I'm not going to attract the man that I want to marry if I'm going in with that limiting belief of all men suck. The same rule applies to your business. If you think you're not going to make money, you're not going to make money. As simple as that. If you're looking for a relationship, but you think everyone's going to hurt you, you're not going to end up in a relationship. So you and I are on the same level playing field, just in different categories in life, business and relationships. So if you take anything from this video today, I want you to start creating the narrative that's going to help you win. Exactly the way I'm doing it. I choose to believe that there are good men in this world. I choose to expose myself to healthy relationships. I choose to take advice of people who have healthy marriages and not sit in circles with women who hate men. You get me? So when it comes to business, same rule applies. Sit around people who have success with coaching. Learn of people who are doing it. Watch people who look similar to you. Teachers, coaches. You have myself as your model. You have our client stories, which I've linked you down below. Go and listen to them. Now, when it comes to thinking on whether parents are going to be paying money or not, I want you to start thinking around your projections you're throwing out there into the market. Because the reality is, who are we to assume parents are not willing to invest in their children? Isn't that quite arrogant of us to think a parent doesn't have money? It kind of reminds me of that Pretty Woman movie, if you've ever watched it, where she walks into a boutique, Julia Roberts, walks into the boutique, has the money, and is willing to spend to buy an outfit and gets judged with the shop assistant and pretty much just gets rejected and is not able to spend in that boutique because she was judged too early. The kind of same rule applies here with making money with parents. Don't judge them too early. Don't project your limiting beliefs. And don't assume parents don't have money to invest in their own children. That's just your own projection that you're throwing out there into the market. The belief system that I choose to believe, anyway, the belief system that all of my successful teachers and coaches in the academy try on, is that parents are willing to get resourceful at any cost for their babies. That's the type of parent I want to work with. Whether they can afford or not is a different story. And I was raised by a single mum. Mum made it work. So another belief I want you to try on is if my mum can do it, there's no excuse as to why other mums can't do it. I don't come from money. I was raised at my grandparents' house. And when we were able to get our own place, we lived in government housing. And I'm the face of Teen Coach Academy, and I've made $1 million online over my time with coaching. And so I guess the point here too is this is a learnable skill for you. I didn't know how to do this in the beginning, but I just trusted myself to give it a shot and just see how it goes. Does that mean you have to make $1 million? Of course not. Once again, just choose the number that feels good enough right now for you. Start small, an extra $500 a month, an extra $1,000 a month. And then the confidence and the momentum will build later if you want it to build later. But look for the evidence that you can do this. And you even have the evidence through me, through my YouTube channel, my products, my trainings, the success stories, etc. You need to train your mind to look for the evidence. You need to train your mind to hear and listen to the success stories online and don't pay attention to the statistics. Don't pay attention to the limitations. See, at the beginning of this video, I mentioned that I grew up with divorced parents. Statistically speaking, as a child from a divorced family, almost has no chance in society. I could have taken that label on as a kid, and I just chose not to feed into the statistics. I became the first person in my family to go to university. I was an elite athlete. I received great grades. Obviously, I've made $1 million over in my business. Like, if I just chose to carry on those statistics well into my life, my adulthood, I wouldn't be where I am today. So don't feed into the limitations. You have an opportunity now to choose on whether you believe you can make money or not. Now, that takes time. That takes exposure. That takes momentum. That takes new habits. So all I want you to do is just start thinking to yourself, if I was just to choose a different narrative today, just try it on. Try on a different pair of jeans today. Am I willing to just be open to a new narrative? Or am I just going to keep sitting in my limitations? Because I wholeheartedly believe that even though we're on the same level playing field, I wholeheartedly believe that we can continue to elevate our mindset, our belief systems to get what we want in life. It's just a matter of when, not if. So I want to leave this with you today too around how to attract these parents. How do you firstly believe that you can make money? That's where we start. Believing in the possibility. 2, looking for the evidence that supports that narrative. 3, choosing the number that feels comfortable for you right now. You're not quitting your job. You might quit later, but right now that extra $500 a month, $2,000 a month, heck, even if it's $10,000 a month and it doesn't scare you, then that's the main point here. And then very lastly, agreeing on the fact that there are parents out there that are willing to spend at any cost to protect their babies. And this just becomes more of a values conversation on whether you truly believe in your skill sets to really support a family. And that's okay too. If you don't believe in yourself just yet, that's okay. That's why I've created Teen Coach Academy. That's why we have courses such as the Teen Coach Practitioner Certification, so we can equip you with the skill sets, the mentality, the programs, the resources in order to allow you to believe in yourself that you can support parents. That's why we created it for you. But also too, posturing yourself up as an authority in the space, speaking to the sophisticated parents in mind. All of my successful students have been able to position themselves as authorities, as teachers and coaches in the market, helping teenagers and helping parents. And they ask specific questions. Me personally, I ask 11 specific questions in front of parents to position me as an authority, but importantly, to attract serious parents that will invest in teen coaching. And if you want it, I've also linked it down below for you. Download it. It's free. Literally questions you can plug into your calendar, maybe now, maybe later. So when a parent has shown interest into coaching, you ask them a series of questions. It's like a screening process. So you can repel the time wasters and you can attract the serious parents who are willing to put money down for their own babies, regardless of how much you decide to charge for your services. Awesome. Grab it down below. It's there for you. Don't keep chasing your limitations. A lot of you fight for your limitations. Isn't that exhausting? How about you start looking for the evidence and start reflecting on the empowering beliefs rather than the limiting beliefs? Because if I can do it, I'm no exception to the rule. As I said, I made $0 in my first 12 months coaching teenagers because at that stage, I just didn't think it was possible for me. I had to overcome that level of skepticism. I'd love to know what you found most valuable in today's brief video. Drop your comments down below. Let me know where we've removed resistance. Lean in with curiosity. I'll be personally replying to all those comments as well. And if you'd like to go beyond this video, click on those links down below. You can get some really cool resources as a result of it. And I'll catch you in the next one. We'll talk soon.